All right, welcome back, everyone. We are still in round one, and this is game two of Snakes and Trees versus Goons. So if you don't remember, in the previous match, we played on Alter Divide. Snakes and Trees took that one, which was actually the map that Goons picked. But now we are moving on to DSD, Delta Siege Dry, which is a map that the Snakes and Trees team picked. So hopefully they're prepared for it. We'll see if Goons can strike back in game two. And while we wait for the players to load in, we'll come back. If you guys are interested in the 5v5 tourney, please hop in the Discord and see when the next Omega series will begin. And yeah, we hope to see you there. And it looks like our players are in game, so let's hop on into it. All right, so similarly, we have Goons as the red team and Snakes and Trees as the blue team. In terms of OS, it looks like Sully and A1, who are their two strongest players, are on bottom at the front, so we'll see how this plays out. Waffle, who was able to get T2 tech down here, is ready, and it looks like we've got one arm, one core going core vehicles. We've got an arm bot start on bottom DSDR. Interesting. Kyle with the core bot for top, and it looks like Goon Premium is in back, probably going air, but we'll see how this plays out. And let's get started. All right, so a one-time launching in with core vehicles. Soli has gone core bots as well, so this bottom lane down here is actually going to be a bot v bot matchup, which is a little interesting. I feel like bottom DSDR, it's rare to see the actual bot matchup. Zombie with the cute little play, he's been watching some videos, the high to low ground lab build, going vehicles so he can try to contest hill a little bit sooner. Traditionally you see bots in this position, but looks like he's made up his mind. If you can get artillery on that cliff, it can definitely have a pretty impactful range. And the first fight is a tick getting murdered by a grunt, and along with that we have all of Soli's grunts coming in, and they are en route to Roger's base. Let's see if they're going to be able to find anything. In the same regard, A1 time is, oh, he's actually going to come up and potentially try to help out as well. So let's see what these grunts are going to be able to accomplish. Oh, first grunt immediately eats a D gun. Roger says, get away from my base. I want none of you here. All right, and they find a single tick, so this is still going to be a couple of grunts, and it looks like 5 rovers getting ready to, or 5 rascals rather, getting ready to harass. And these rascals are instead going to swerve down to Waffle's base. Can they pick off anything? No, Waffle has dropped an LLT, so it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to find any value out of those. They're going to keep expanding to the back. He sets rally points all the way into the very, very far back. There's a small set of exchanges here. We've got an incisor picking off some grunts as they file in, and it looks like On My Face and Kyle are making friends on the top lane. Oh no, this is super concerning. Doe needs to push up and handle this. Premium spawned in back with a bot lab, but only has 1 grunt, and he has an army of rovers bearing down on him. His commander is in place. Oh, and he's able to snipe all of these. Still 1 more rover, and it looks like A1 time recognizes that, and he's going to skirt around. He's going to try to run around to the backside, pick off a lot, but Premium is prepared for this. He has a grunt, and the grunt's going to put in work, but will it be enough? Oh, still floating through. All right, he's starting to make some there, so it looks like it's covered. And we're still seeing quite a bit of aggression. Roger has not left his base yet. He's just been pinned in by the constant harass from Snakes and Trees, and Soli has already pushed forward and he's taken both of those mexes. It's also a little concerning that there's 6 unclaimed mexes in the back here for Goons. They haven't quite had time to take it yet. Waffle's gonna push up and find A1 time. He could probably at least get a mex, but he needs to be careful of D-guns. Oh! All right, he loses a couple incisors to a D-gun, but he does pick off the mechs and deal a little bit of damage to a 1x commander. Kyle running some grunts through. Let's see if he can find the zombie lab. He pings it. He knows it's there. So he's going to try to swerve up, and there's only one incisor here. The commander's a little bit farther back, but he's going to stop short. No, he's coming in. He has decided, let's do it. But there is an LLT as well, so it's going to be difficult for him to actually do it. He wanted to try to hide behind the vehicle lab, but it didn't quite work out for him. Oh no. Zombie also snuck an incisor, it looks like, in the back line here, but Doughface's commander is able to clean it up. And now we've got the full battle on the front line on bottom. We've got incisors and LLTs versus incisors and LLTs. Looks like Waffle and A1Time are just trading back and forth. Meanwhile, a little bit higher up here, Roger and Sully have respectively set their front lines, but unfortunately, Roger is missing both of these mid-mechs as Sully was able to cap them, and Roger cannot contest anymore, so it's definitely a little bit concerning. Zombie pushing forward with his commander, and it looks like On My Face is covering. His comm is not going up to take the mexes. He's pushing forward towards Kyle's base. And it looks like a brief pause in the action while everyone kind of gets set up. And Dr. Goldfish in back, he's got the bot lab, but he hasn't built much of anything else. Looks like there's a small skirmish here, and Sully's gonna try to make things happen. He has his grunts, and all right, after the small skirmish, they're gonna back up. There's some ticks behind those. Bowface is finally getting out some air. No one gave him a ground con though, so he's gonna have a rough start with those air cons. Zombine has swerved up and has decided to get a high ground radar. He's going to take these mexes now, which is going to be a pretty impressive boost for their already substantially increased income. If you look in the top right, unfortunately, while they're still close on energy, the Snakes and Trees team has just completely eclipsed Goons with metal production, in part because they've taken really all of their mexes, and they've taken both the, or at least on top, they've taken the forward mexes, so they're just able to outproduce them. Sorry, on bottom, they've taken the forward mexes. Sully is starting to trade rocket bots, and Roger is shooting with rocket bots as well. The classic LLT rocket bot war, as one does. And Zombie fortifying the top with some light laser turrets. He is hanging out on the top of the mountain and living his best life. On My Face is still holding here. He's gonna start to get pushed by bots, but he opened he opened vehicle, so it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for him to traverse. And Kyle the Goon might be able to abuse some of that and really utilize the rocket bot's ability to traverse all terrain. All right, on the bottom, what do we got here, boys? We got a Wolverine starting to chip in, and we've got incisors running by. Hopefully can sneak through and do a bit more damage. Two thugs ran past, but it looks like those stouts are going to be able to clean them up. And these incisors are running straight past the midline. Unfortunately, Premium really needs to come down and fill this massive gaping hole in middle, but he's not there, and A1Time is gonna abuse that and try to take as much advantage of it as he can. Unfortunately, his incisors get caught by pawns. They need to definitely kite and stay away. Pawn DPS, if you're close to them, is borderline absurd, especially for their cost. However, with Waffle bringing in his own incisors, it looks like they're going to be able to clean that up and push them back to their side of bottom. And we've got a relatively established front line, not too much fighting going on now, although it's been a little quiet. Dr. Goldfish with the air switch opened bots, got a little bit of harassment on, but then finally got his air switch done. And Doughface with the Banshee. Ladies and gentlemen, did you think you would see one today? Who knew? Who knew? But there it is, our first Banshee of the day, at least in the games that I have casted. Oh, And Zombie doing a little bit of a battle over here with Kyle's thugs, but this is some brute versus thug, and even with the hill, I think the brutes are easily gonna be able to win it out, especially with the commander healing. Kyle's bringing his con, but he's not there yet. Roger is grossly outclassed by the number of rocket bots that Soli has, and Soli is pushing. Not great spread from either of them, but they're trying to be as aggressive as possible and minimize the damage. We've got repairs from a resbot and a commander on both sides, but Soli is pushing this super hard with these rocket bots. Roger needs to be very careful. In the same time, A1 and Waffle are battling, but this A1 he's built the Great Wall of DSDR. He says you will not be running through, and he built a forward bot lab to complement his rear vehicle lab. So let's see what happens. This is an absolute army of brutes from Waffle. Is he gonna commit with these? No, he just wants to kind of pick and choke. And up top, they dove for Zombine's commander, but they didn't get him. 200 HP is all that's left, but the combination of LLTs and brutes was able to stop Kyle's attack. If that commander had gone down next to all those brutes, it would have been a massive shift in the game momentum. But as it stands, when we look up here in the top right, there is a dire picture being painted for Goon's chances in this game. They are just very slowly being outscaled. Oh, we've got a Stormbringer coming in with some bombs, but it looks like there's fighters and a Nettle already prepared, so that bomber is gonna drop one salvo and disappear onto the ground of DSDR. And Zombine has decided he's done fighting over this hill. He's going to take the fight to his enemy. So we've got his brutes, and they are getting ready. They are pushing forward. They take some X's, and is he going to bring these down, or is he going to keep pushing up? I guess we'll find out momentarily. His commander is still low, so it's going to be a bit harder for his comm to hold that. A1 time with his Great Wall established is going to try to push through the middle again. Soli's comm is on the front. Oh, this is low. Dangerous. But A1 time is going to push up, and they're going to 1v2 Roger. If they can kill this army before Waffle's able to arrive, this could be game. This is looking a little hectic. Roger's comm is running. There's almost nothing left, but Waffle's going to be able to backstab into this, and there are gunships coming. Banshees have arrived. They are shooting the ground. Okay. Oh, is that both comms? Nope, that was Roger's comm. Soli pulled back his comm to heal it, and unfortunately, it looks like Doughface has really lost air superiority, so it's going to be really rough for him to really do anything. And unfortunately, Dr. Goldfish looks like he's ready. He's going to bring a bombing run, and he might need to bring these fighters with it, but if Doughface doesn't react soon, it's not going to be good. All right, Stormbringer's coming in. What can they get? There's 2 Nettles, so it might not get too much, and they're grouped. Oh, that was a lot of wind, actually. All right, and fighters are coming to kill him now. He didn't bring his fighters with this bombing run, interestingly enough. I don't think any of these Stormbreakers are going to get a second volley off. They do not. They just collapse into balls of flame, and Doughface is able to minimize damage, but it looks like the damage may have already been done, and the time it took for that bombing run to hit, Soli was able to push and just crush his base, and now there is 5k metal sitting there waiting for the blue team to pick up and just start pushing. And on the same regard, up top, we have the mother of all pushes. This is a lot of medium tanks. We got 25 medium tanks, 6 whistlers, just in case there are Shuris, and this should be pushing. Yep, it's pushing up, and it is coming for Kyle's base. With the collapse of bottom and the collapse of top, this is starting to look real dire, but Stakes and Trees has played an incredibly strong game for this game too, and it looks like they might be able to move the series to a 2-0 unless Goons is able to really pull something out of their hat for this one. A1 time with his mixed bot vehicle is just pushing through. We have a ton of pounders here. Are they enough though? Oh, he's gonna get the resbots. That is a massively important kill there. But Soli's still spinning Roccos? Soli's on that Rocco trade. Probably needs to transition into pawns, but he's not sure if there's going to be something else there. But Zombie has decided it's time to end the game, boys. It's time to end the game, and he is moving with the best of them. He's trying to dodge his commander. Premium's commander is not going to get much. Can he D-gun? He gets a few with a D-gun and the commander explosion, but that's more or less his entire base, and there's nothing to protect against these now anymore. So he's gonna roll up and clean up this entire top wind farm here, and Premium has essentially nothing left. Dr. Goldfish with the scout, they know that there's very little remaining, and they're gonna try to push up and end it. Solely after killing his opponent is gonna collapse down, and Waffle... Waffle? Not sure what killed Waffle there. Did he self-D on accident? Waffle down, boys. Waffle down. Happens to the best of us. All right, but he hasn't left the game, so I think maybe his comm just died to something and we missed it. All right, we've got Rocket Bots versus Pounders. This is kind of a brutal matchup. And up top, purple and green are still just posturing and slowly pushing forward, but Zombine's tank ball of death has decided it is time to continue pushing forward. Roger laments the loss of his 20 Bitcoin, and the goons decide that's it, it's over. So pretty impressive play, and that's awesome that they had a great split. In the first game, Dr. Goldfish was able to get a cow and really carry the game. In this game, Zombine's medium tanks, turns out medium tanks on repeat, not a bad strategy. He was able to do quite a bit, and he had a very strong eco at the end there. He took Geo, which definitely helped. If we look at stats, we can see 82k damage done. Actually pretty impressive. Dr. Goldfish with the 244 damage efficiency. Zombie also with an incredible 5 aggression level. He's only really beat by Waffle, but that was a good game and a good attempt from Goons to equalize the series, but they weren't able to pull it off. So we're going to head on to a game 3, and we'll see if Goons can recover or if that's the end of the series.